God bless you, my friends. This is Bishop Thomas Bell of Cathedral of Praise Ministries, and we've been walking in wisdom out of the book of Proverbs. My challenge has been for the entire month of May, with the 31 days that are here, for us to read a proverb, one proverb each day as your daily devotion, to establish a foundation, to learn, to be inspired, to be informed, and then to allow God's Spirit to release unto you and inspire your mind to do better and to be better. I'm going to start off tonight out of Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31, the who can find a virtuous woman scripture. That's probably the 125 gazillion trillion dollar question. Who can find a virtuous woman, and who can find a man that's working? And I know that they're out there, but I just want to key in on this because it's a very powerful scripture. We always celebrate it on Mother's Day, and we do salute all of the mothers that are taking the time out on this evening to listen. So Proverbs 31 verses 10, I'll begin at verse 10 for my reader to the end.
Who can find a virtuous and capable wife? She is more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life.
Wow.
She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She is like a merchant's ship, bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the day's work for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard.
Wow.
She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes.
That's an awesome woman.
She makes her own bedspreads. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with the other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants.
Wow.
She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Her children, stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all.
Pass by everybody.
Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise.
Well, I want to say this first and foremost. I'm very biased when it comes to women of my own culture, and because I am a part of this culture, you are the strongest link in all of humanity. The most feared man is the black man, but the most respected, honored, and most industrious woman is the black woman. She has never come short of being industrious if she's truly a strong black woman. I mean, I know many of them. There are many of them that are in our social media, many of them that are athletes, many of them that are business professionals. I mean, people that come to mind immediately is Michelle Obama. They just did a documentary on her most recently, and people are still inspired by her. Have nothing against our current First Lady, but Michelle Obama, she inspired so many. I'm talking about children. She dealt with obesity. She dealt with just giving them a chart or some type of plan to look forward to in life. So that I'm talking about young girls and young women now, and it's a blessing. It's amazing how everybody can celebrate every other culture, but when it comes to us, there's always but. No, there is no but here. We're the only culture of people that people trip about a woman's hair, whether she wears it natural or whether she wears it straight. So everything has to be subjected to the dominant aspect and culture in our society so that they don't feel, they being people of European descent, don't feel uncomfortable or don't feel intimidated. As a matter of fact, they went to the extremity at the Dove Company to make a lotion or soap or whatever, some type of product. And there was a black woman initially, and then when she lifted up this brown T-shirt, she transformed into a white woman. And then they had to go, they being Dove, had to go in and do damage control through their public relations, because what they were saying was, it's better if you are white than it is for you to be who you are. We are such an awesome people. And I'm going to have my reader to read Still I Rise by Maya Angelou, which is another great woman. Katherine Johnson, that helped men get on the moon. The Williams sisters that helped equal pay for equal play. Even though Billie Jean King came up with the concept, it wasn't until those two sisters came onto the scene. And it has been most watched since then, because there's always this competitive nature to try to defeat us when we are at the top of every game. You can't put a ball, you can't put a business, you can't put the rights and the authority in our hands, and we don't have the ability, the capacity, the intellect, or the wherewithal to be successful at whatever it is. We are not this slow-paced, slowly, dumb, happy with nothing type of people, and the images that have been placed over our women, being over sensual and over sexualized, and always for the benefit of somebody's pleasure, whether it's of our own culture or another culture. Our women have always been desired because they have always been voluptuous, they have always been curvaceous, they've always been beautiful in their own right, but they're always told that they're nothing. They've always been talked down to, even by their own men. But tonight, I want to reassure, or should I say today, I want to reassure black women, you are the most beautiful, you are the most industrious, the most innovative, the most intelligent women on the face of the planet. You've nurtured other people's children. You've given them privilege and nurturing, just like you did your own kids. And there's a judge that lives here in town, and his mother helped to raise another judge when he was a child. And it was, quote unquote, as the saying goes, she was like his second mother. But black women have not always been given their right. They have not always been given their props. So I'm trying to sing songs of praise while I can. I was looking at one of the great women in our society. She used to be with the school board here in Kershaw County. Her name is Vivian Metz. And Miss Metz is 90-something years old now, sharp, still sharp, and was not afraid of anything or anybody. We need women who are sober-minded. We need women who are strong. We need women who are not petty. We need women who are not driven by drama. We need women who are not going to pursue after things. As she just got through reading in Proverbs 31, you have too much on your plate and too much to do for you to be worried about the little petty things, especially when you are as beautiful and as intelligent as you are. And I'm going to leave it at that because I want her to read this Still I Rise, and then I'll be done. I want to give a shout out to my own mother, Sarah Bell, who raised me and my brother and my sister by herself without a sugar daddy. She went and worked a dead-end job. I love you, Mama. Thank you for the sacrifice. She went to school at night, got her her GED, then went back, got her associate's degree, went back, got a bachelor's, went back, and got her master's in early childhood development. She enhanced, and she did it by the grace of God. She was raising us in church, raising us with morals, raising us, and my mama did not play. I have some stories, but I'm not going to share them to embarrass myself. I just want to thank God for my mom, and then all of the wonderful women of God that God has connected to my life and that have been a blessing to me. I don't have time to shout out all of them, but you know who you are, and I thank God for you, and thank you for the things you have deposited into me. Now I want my reader to read Still I Rise.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trot me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room, just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Many people are not familiar with Shirley Chisholm. She was the first African American that ran for the presidency. There was something unique and powerful in this woman who trusted God, who trusted the abilities that she had. I watched a movie about Harriet Tubman most recently, and there's always a contention over history and how legitimate and how authentic it is. The bottom line is she was a part of the Underground Railroad, and she led men and women to liberty. We're the only group of people, only culture of people in America that had to fight just to be free, because people looked at us as though we were nothing and still look at us that way. One of the things that has empowered me as a young man has been the wisdom of my mother. Proverbs 31 is a conversation between a mother and a son. And my mom always told us we could be whatever we desire to be. I thank God for her wisdom. I thank God for her strength. And she's gone through several health issues, but she's still here and she's still speaking wisdom into the lives of people, because when you're saved and you know God, and that is the only way that she made it with us, with 3 children, raising them by herself, by the wisdom of God, by the strength of God, and by the grace of God. Mama, I love you. Ladies, I appreciate it and I celebrate you. Do not let anyone define who you are, because God says you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Not what they say you are, but what you believe that you are. God bless you.